Alison, ¿verdad?
Alejandro Ramírez, nice to meet you.
Antonio del Valle.
Eugene Madero, Shalom, Prime Minister. Nice to meet you.
הבן של יעקב כץ? של מרקוס. אהבתי אותו מאוד.
Juan Pablo Castillo. Mr. Prime Minister, it's a pleasure. My name is Frederick Garcia. Welcome in Mexico.
Thank you.
Welcome to Mexico. Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
Estamos difíciles.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You sit down.
Thank you.
First, I'm delighted to be here. This is my the first visit of an Israeli Prime Minister in Latin America. Quite unbelievable, but it took 70 years for the first official visit of an Israeli Prime Minister in any country south of the United States. I think it's been long overdue. I began my visit in Argentina, stopped over in Colombia, and now I'm in Mexico. I feel like, the Israeli backpackers. They finish the army, and then they come to South America, and they go from country to country. They walk it. So we haven't been walking it. We've been flying it. But yesterday I started the day in Argentina, went through Bogota, and went to sleep in Mexico City. So I'm eager for the trek. I intend to come next time for 4 days and cover all the country. But this is an expression of the interest we have, the belief we have, the confidence we have in the great potential of Latin America and of Mexico specifically, which will move to be one of the top 10 or even top 7 economies in the world in a matter of little time. Now, there are two things that I would like to bring to this table. The first is that I will speak a lot about technology, and technology is immensely powerful in changing just about every one of the businesses that are represented around this table, and it is seeping or flooding, even if I can use this word today, flooding every area of human endeavor. It may take longer in some areas, shorter in other areas, but I believe that the distinction between high-tech and low-tech is rapidly disappearing. Again, there may be some areas that will be immune to it, but most will not be. And the competitive advantage will be to those who are able to bring technology into what are seen as otherwise untechnologized businesses. This is a big discussion that I have with my chief economic advisor here, Professor Simchon. I see this. I see wealth created very rapidly, sometimes geometrically, in areas where technology comes in. For example, I give auto parts or vehicles. Until very recently, we had no vehicle industry, no car industry, but we have one now, and it is it's receiving billions of dollars of investment each year for 500 companies that deal with anything from autonomous vehicles or crowdsourcing for Waze, that was an Israeli company, or Mobileye for using AI basically for safer travel. So I think these industries are being created one after the other, and they produce enormous value. Cyber is another example, cybersecurity, which is exploding in Israel. And we now have 20% of the global cyber investment in the private global investment in cybersecurity. That's 200 times the size of our population. It's creating enormous value. But I think that this will be transferred into other areas. You mentioned agriculture. We have drones, and we have now the imaging of fields, and we can utilize this big data and artificial intelligence and connectivity to have precision-guided fertilization of a plant, not plants, a plant. Same thing with water. And this makes the productivity of agriculture fly through the roof. I think that every area today is being technologized, every area. And therefore, I think that Israel should be a source of interest to all of you because of the possibility that you could use Israel for improving your own businesses in ways that may not be obvious for the moment. But if you invest in it a bit, I think that you will profit by it, and we will profit by it, obviously. Secondly, I want to encourage Israeli firms to come here in Mexico with technology and with business, and there are about 150 firms here today. I'd like that number to double. And I think that the carriers of progress are the private companies, much more so than the governments. But I do want to say one other thing. In other words, I'm saying we're at a technological crossroads. Those who seize technology will seize the future, both as countries and as firms. The second point, which is the one that I can speak about our endeavors as a government, is that we want to give business firms the maximum freedom to do what I just said. And therefore, the complement to the innovation nation is the market-friendly nation. And we have made a lot of reforms in Israel. I myself was involved in it in a major way, both as finance minister and as prime minister, to give firms the ability to compete, to make money, to lose money, to try again and succeed, because most of the value added in an economy comes from the private sector. So our policy in Israel is twofold. One, encourage innovation. Second, encourage market-friendly policies. It's the combination of the two that has leapfrogged Israel into being one of the advanced countries today in the world, one of the advanced economies. I think there's a great opportunity that has not yet been realized, even in a minor way, for cooperation between Israeli companies and Mexican companies. I encourage you to come to Israel. If you haven't done it, you should. If you've done it, come again. And I would like to have this meeting in Tel Aviv or Jerusalem around a round table with your Israeli counterparts. We've just done that with India, and we're doing it with others. It's been immensely, immensely productive. So I would say we have a saying, next year in Jerusalem. I would like it to be this year, but we're close to the end of the year. I'll end with this, next year in Jerusalem, and thank you for coming here this morning. Thank you very much.